Does your male cat ever look at you with those huge, sad eyes, like you've just committed the ultimate betrayal? Or maybe he suddenly starts yelling at 3 a.m. and you're lying awake wondering, is he doing this just to spite me? Or did my cat finally break? We've all been there. You buy them the most expensive food, you offer them your absolute best pillow, and in return they give you the silent treatment because you sneezed too loudly. But here is the crazy truth. Your fluffy little tyrant isn't actually mad at you. He is heartbroken. And the worst part? You are probably breaking his heart every single day without even realizing it. Today, we are going to expose the 7 everyday things that absolutely crush a male cat's soul. We will reveal the hidden secrets behind their dramatic behavior and show you how to fix it. But before we get into the heavy stuff, jump down into the comments right now and tell me, what is the name of the furry hooligan currently running your house? Let's see who has the best cat names. Before we dive into the list of your daily crimes, let's talk a little bit about the unique psychology of the male cat. If you have ever owned both male and female cats, you already know there is a massive difference. Female cats are often the independent, sassy queens of the castle. They have boundaries and they enforce them. But male cats? Oh, male cats are the ultimate mama's boys. Despite their evolutionary history as solitary, fierce, territorial hunters, domesticated male cats are notoriously goofy, incredibly needy, and deeply attached to their favourite humans. They are basically big, furry toddlers with sharp claws and an intense desire for your undivided attention. Because they form such strong, obsessive bonds with their owners, they are also wildly sensitive to any changes in your shared environment. What you see as a minor adjustment or a simple household chore, your male cat perceives as a direct emotional attack on his very existence. They don't have the emotional armor of female cats. So, when you do something that goes against their biological instincts or their emotional expectations, they don't just get annoyed, they get genuinely, deeply hurt. Now, let's look at the 7 things you need to stop doing immediately. Let's kick things off with heartbreak number 1, washing his favourite incredibly stinky blanket. You know exactly which blanket I'm talking about. It is that one ratty, fur-covered piece of fabric that looks like it survived a zombie apocalypse. As a responsible cat parent, you look at this biological hazard and think, I really need to throw this in the washing machine before it comes alive and walks away. So, you wash it. It comes out smelling like fresh spring meadows and lavender. You proudly present it to your sweet boy, expecting purrs of gratitude. Instead, what happens? He sniffs it, gives you a look of pure, unadulterated disgust, and walks away like you just insulted his entire ancestry. Why does he act like you just committed the ultimate betrayal? To you, it is just basic hygiene. To him, you just erased his entire identity from existence. Male cats, especially, take immense pride in their hard work. And yes, making that blanket smell exactly like him was months of hard work. Every time he needed it, drooled on it, and slept on it, he was stamping his personal signature on it. To understand the depth of this tragedy, you have to understand how male cats view the world. They do not navigate their environment primarily by sight. They navigate it by scent. When a male cat rubs his cheeks against his bed, he is releasing special pheromones from his facial glands. These pheromones are basically invisible sticky notes that say, I am safe here. This is my kingdom and I am the boss. When you throw that bed into the washing machine with your harsh chemical detergents, you are ripping down all of his comforting sticky notes. Imagine if you came home one day and someone had repainted your entire house neon green and thrown away all your family photos. That intense feeling of disorientation and violation is exactly what your cat feels. He doesn't smell lavender and spring meadows. He smells chemicals, danger, and a complete lack of security. His safe space has been sanitized into a hostile, unfamiliar territory.
It literally breaks his heart that the human he trusts the most would destroy his masterpiece of smells.
So, how do you handle this biological hazard without emotionally destroying your cat? The secret is strategic, gradual cleaning. Never wash all of his favorite things at once. If you wash his blanket, leave his favorite cardboard box completely untouched. If you absolutely must wash his bed, try to use unscented, hypoallergenic detergents that don't leave a strong chemical residue. And here is a pro tip from experienced cat psychologists. Before you give the clean bed back to him, rub one of your own worn t-shirts on it. Since he loves you, your scent is the second best thing to his own scent. It will help bridge the gap and make the bed feel safe again. Yes, it sounds completely crazy to rub your dirty laundry on a clean pet bed, but welcome to the life of a cat parent. We do weird things for love.
Eventually, he will forgive you, march back over to that pristine bed, and immediately begin the long, arduous process of covering it in drool and fur all over again. He has to rebuild his empire from scratch after all.
Heartbreak number 2 is something we are all guilty of: closing doors inside your house. Have you ever gone to the bathroom, shut the door, and immediately seen 2 desperate little paws reach underneath the crack, followed by the most tragic, sorrowful crying you have ever heard? He sounds like he is being abandoned on a desert island. You think to yourself, "Buddy, I just need 3 minutes of privacy." But privacy is a human concept that your male cat actively rejects. In his mind, closing a door is an aggressive act of exclusion. Male cats are natural patrollers. In the wild, a male cat's territory is huge, and he spends a large chunk of his day walking the perimeter, making sure there are no intruders, no threats, and that his family is safe. When you close a door, you are cutting off his access to a section of his territory. You are effectively firing him from his job as the chief security officer of your house.
And it absolutely shatters his confidence.
But why does it always seem to be the bathroom door that triggers the biggest emotional meltdown? It's not just about territory. It is about vulnerability. Your cat knows that when you are in the bathroom, you are somewhat trapped and distracted. His protective instincts kick into overdrive. He is thinking, "My giant, furless kitten is locked in a tiny room with a giant bowl of water. I must save them." When you lock him out, he feels like he is failing in his duty to protect you. Furthermore, male cats suffer from a massive case of FOMO, fear of missing out. Because they are so deeply attached to their humans, the idea that you might be doing something interesting, fun, or dangerous without them is unbearable. Even if you are just sitting on the toilet scrolling through your phone, to him, it is a secret VIP club meeting, and his name was left off the guest list.
The closed door represents a physical barrier to your love and affection, and he takes it very, very personally. The funniest part about this closed door phobia is the open door paradox. If you give in, apologize to his little paws under the door, and swing it open, what does he do? 9 times out of 10, he will just sit on the threshold, stare at you for 2 seconds, and then turn around and walk away to take a nap in the living room. He didn't actually want to be inside the bathroom with you. He just wanted the option. He needed to know that the door was open and that his territory was fully accessible. To keep his heart intact, you have to accept that as a cat parent, the days of closing interior doors are over. You must embrace the open door lifestyle. Let him conduct his daily perimeter checks. Let him sit in the doorway like a fluffy gargoyle judging your life choices. By leaving the doors open, you are telling him, "I respect your authority, Mr. Manager, and I trust you to keep us safe." It's a small price to pay for his emotional well-being.
Moving on to heartbreak number 3, and this one is a massive relationship ender. Petting another animal and bringing that scent home. Oh yes, we are talking about the betrayal. Imagine this scenario. You are walking down the street and a friendly neighborhood stray cat comes up to you. You give it a few scratches behind the ears. It feels harmless. You come home, take off your coat, and your male cat excitedly trots over to greet you. He leans in for his customary welcome home sniff, and suddenly, he freezes. His eyes go wide, his ears flatten. He takes a step back and looks at you with absolute horror. You reek of another feline. To a fiercely loyal, clingy male cat, this is the ultimate act of treason. You didn't just cheat on him, you brought the evidence right into his living room.
He will likely refuse to let you touch him, vigorously groom himself if you do manage to pet him, or simply turn his back and stare at the wall in deep, dramatic depression. Why is the reaction so extreme? It comes back to the unique way male cats bond. While females might tolerate a wider circle of acquaintances, a male cat often chooses one primary human to be his person. You are his property, his mother, and his best friend all rolled into one. When you smell like a strange cat, or a dog, which is arguably even worse, it triggers intense feelings of jealousy and insecurity. He immediately assumes he is being replaced. In the wild, the scent of a strange male cat on his territory means a physical fight is imminent. While your indoor boy might not be preparing for a literal war, the emotional stress is exactly the same. He wonders, is my human going to bring this imposter home? Am I going to lose my favourite spot on the couch? Did she like petting that cat more than me? It shatters his illusion that he is the one and only centre of your universe. He is literally heartbroken by your wandering hands. Fixing this breach of trust requires extreme diplomacy and a lot of bribery. If you know you have been petting other animals, do not force your affection on him when you walk through the door. Go straight to the sink and wash your hands with soap. Take off the contaminated jacket and put it out of reach. Once you have neutralized the threat, you have to let him re-establish his ownership over you. Sit on the floor at his level and offer your hand. Let him initiate the contact. He will likely come over, sniff you suspiciously to ensure the enemy is gone, and then start aggressively rubbing his cheeks and head all over your hands and shins. He is furiously reapplying his pheromones, screaming to the world, "This human is taken!" You must sit there and accept this claiming process. Offering a high-value treat, like a piece of boiled chicken or a squeeze tube, also helps smooth over the emotional damage. Eventually, he will forgive your infidelity, but he will never forget. Heartbreak number 4 is something we humans do without even thinking. Interrupting his carefully planned daily routine. Cats are basically furry little beings with mild autism when it comes to schedules. They thrive on absolute, unyielding predictability. Your male cat has a strict itinerary for his day. 7 a.m. is breakfast, 8:30 a.m. is watching the birds out the window, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. is deep sleep on your keyboard, 5 p.m. is dinner and screaming. When you decide to sleep in on a Saturday until 9 a.m., you are not just being lazy, you are throwing his entire universe into chaos. The daylight savings time change is a global tragedy for cats everywhere. When you suddenly change his feeding time, or move his litter box, or decide to vacuum the rug during his scheduled meditation hour, it causes him profound psychological distress. He doesn't understand weekends, holidays, or time changes. He only understands that the contract you signed together has been broken. For a male cat, routine equals safety. Because they don't have control over when they eat, where they live, or how the house operates, their only sense of control comes from predicting what will happen next based on your habits. When those habits change, it creates massive anxiety. A male cat whose routine is constantly disrupted will start to feel insecure and unloved. He will think, "My human forgot to feed me at 6 a.m. This must mean they are abandoning me. I need to prepare for the worst." This anxiety often manifests in ways that we humans interpret as bad behavior.
He might start aggressively scratching the furniture, yowling randomly in the hallways, or knocking your favorite coffee mug off the table while making direct eye contact. We think he is acting out of spite, but he is actually acting out of panic. He is desperately trying to establish order in a world that suddenly makes absolutely no sense to him. To mend this heartbreak, you have to become a creature of habit yourself. Try to keep his feeding times as strictly scheduled as possible, even on your days off. I know it hurts to wake up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday to open a can of wet food, but seeing the joy and relief in his little face is worth it. If you have to make a major change to his routine, like starting a new job with different hours, do it gradually over a few weeks. Shift his meal times by just 10 minutes a day, and most importantly, establish micro-routines that he can rely on no matter what time it is. A special scratching session before bed, or exactly 3 treats when you walk through the door after work. These little anchors of predictability will make him feel deeply loved and secure. When his world is predictable, his heart is full, and he can go back to his primary job, sleeping for 16 hours a day in a sunbeam without a care in the world. Let's talk about heartbreak number 5. Failing to properly acknowledge his gifts and hunting trophies. Imagine it is 2 a.m. You are deep in REM sleep. Suddenly, you hear it. The muffled, guttural yowl of a mighty hunter approaching the bedroom. Meow! Meow! It's your male cat, and he is carrying something in his mouth. He jumps on the bed and proudly drops his fresh kill right on your face. You turn on the light and it's a dirty sock, or a mangled toy mouse, or, if you are really unlucky, a giant, half-dead spider. Your human reaction is usually one of disgust or annoyance. You might yell, "Ew, get that away from me!" and throw the toy on the floor, rolling back over to sleep. My friend, you have just crushed his soul into a million tiny pieces. You just rejected the ultimate symbol of his love and devotion. You see, male cats have an incredibly strong provider instinct. In a natural colony, cats will bring food back to kittens or to adult cats who are injured or unable to hunt. Your cat looks at you, a giant, hairless creature with terrible balance and absolutely zero hunting skills, and he pities you. He thinks, "My poor, pathetic human cannot catch a mouse to save their life. If I don't feed them, they will starve." When he brings you a toy or a bug in the middle of the night, he is literally trying to provide for his family. He is stepping up as the man of the house. It takes effort, stealth, and bravery to conquer that stuffed mouse. When he drops it at your feet, he is expecting a parade in his honor. He expects you to realize how brave and capable he is. By ignoring the gift, or worse, scolding him for waking you up, you are telling him that his hard work is worthless. You are telling him he is a bad provider. How do you avoid this terrible feline heartbreak? You have to learn how to fake extreme excitement, even at 3 a.m. When he brings you that slobbery sock, you must sit up, gasp, and offer lavish praise. "Oh my goodness, what a mighty hunter you are! Thank you for this bountiful harvest. You have saved our family from starvation." Give him a few gentle strokes on the head to confirm receipt of the goods. If it is a toy, toss it for him once or twice to show that you appreciate the utility of the item. Only after he is satisfied with your reaction and struts away feeling like a superhero can you safely move the soggy sock off your pillow. Never, ever throw the gift in the trash while he is watching. Hide it, wash it later, do whatever you need to do, but in the moment, you must treat that toy like it is a solid gold bar. It validates his masculinity, soothes his provider anxiety, and keeps his heart soaring with pride. Heartbreak number 6 is a big one. Moving furniture around without his permission. Let's say you get bored on a Sunday afternoon and decide to totally feng shui your living room. You move the sofa to the opposite wall, swap the TV stand, and relocate the armchair. You think it looks fresh and spacious. Your male cat walks into the room, stops dead in his tracks, and looks like he just stepped onto an alien planet. His tail puffs up, he gets low to the ground, and he starts creeping around the edges of the room like he is dodging laser beams. He might even hiss at the new sofa placement. You laugh because he looks so dramatic, but internally his world is crumbling. By rearranging the furniture, you have destroyed his spatial map and deleted his invisible highways, causing him immense stress and heartbreak. Cats are three-dimensional thinkers. They don't just live on the floor, they live on the cat superhighway. They have carefully mapped out the exact distance from the coffee table to the arm of the sofa to the bookshelf, which allows them to traverse the room without ever touching the floor. This spatial memory is crucial for their sense of security. If a predator attacks, they instantly know the fastest vertical escape route without having to look. When you move the sofa, you break the highway. A jump he has confidently made 1,000 times is suddenly a dangerous leap into the unknown. Furthermore, the furniture used to be coated in his pheromones. By moving things, you've shifted all the scent profiles in the room. He feels like he has been suddenly teleported into a stranger's house. The confidence he had in his own territory is completely shattered, and he feels betrayed that you would sabotage his safe space. To prevent a total mental breakdown when redecorating, you need to employ the art of the slow transition. Never change an entire room in one day if you can help it. If you buy a brand new piece of furniture, leave it in the box in the middle of the room for a few days so he can inspect it and rub his scent all over the cardboard. When you finally assemble it, place one of his unwashed, stinky blankets, remember heartbreak number 1, on the new chair. This immediately marks the alien object as safe and belonging to him. Encourage him to explore the new layout by placing treats on the new sofa or using a laser pointer to guide him along the new jumping paths. You have to actively help him redraw his mental map. Once he successfully navigates from the new chair to the windowsill, you will see his confidence return. He will forgive you for the disruption, claim the new furniture as his own personal throne, and promptly cover it in fur. Finally, we arrive at heartbreak number 7, and this is perhaps the most tragic of them all. Ignoring his subtle requests for affection. Male cats, despite their needy reputation, can sometimes be surprisingly subtle about how they ask for love. The most common and most misunderstood gesture is the trust flop. You are walking through the kitchen and suddenly your cat runs in front of you, throws himself onto the floor with a heavy thud and exposes his fluffy belly. Many people think this is a trap. We've all fallen for the belly rub trap before and ended up with a handful of teeth and claws. Because of this fear, you might just step over him and keep walking, or say, "Not right now, buddy," and ignore him. But stepping over a trust flop is one of the most emotionally devastating things you can do to a male cat. When a male cat flops in front of you and shows you his belly, he is offering you his ultimate vulnerability. A cat's stomach is its softest, most unprotected area. By exposing it to you, he is saying, "I trust you completely with my life. I love you so much that I will make myself completely defenseless in your presence." It is the highest compliment a cat can give. He isn't necessarily asking for a belly rub. In fact, most cats just want their head or chin scratched while they are in this position. He is asking for an emotional connection. When you walk past him without acknowledging the flop, he feels a crushing wave of rejection. He offered you his heart, and you literally stepped over it. To fix this, you must always acknowledge the flop. Stop what you are doing, crouch down, speak to him softly, and give him a gentle scratch behind the ears. Even a brief moment of your attention validates his trust and solidifies the incredible, unbreakable bond you share with your sweet, dramatic boy. And there you have it, cat parents. Now you know exactly what is going on inside that furry, dramatic little head of his. From the tragedy of the washed blanket to the betrayal of the closed bathroom door, male cats are just incredibly sensitive souls wrapped in a layer of fur and sharp claws. But honestly, isn't that why we love them so much? Their neediness, their possessiveness, and their goofy attempts to protect us are just signs of how deeply they adore their humans. Even when they are screaming at 3 a.m. or sulking because you pet a dog, it all stems from a place of pure feline love. Now that you know the secrets, you can stop breaking his heart and start treating him like the king he truly is. If this video made you laugh or taught you something new, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with another cat parent who needs to hear the truth.
And before you go, I have one final question for you. Which of these 7 mistakes is your cat most guilty of punishing you for?